Hello, and this is a game where a lead gets thrown pretty hard and a jungler decides the match. So anyway, hello and welcome to Casting My Climb. This episode we are gonna go for a lot of things, so let's look at the teams we got here set up. On the blue side, in the top lane, we have Sion. Warwick is going to be the jungler, Cassiopeia the mid lane, Xayah the bot carry, and Swain the support. On the red side, we have Ornn in the top lane, Sylas is going to be the jungler, Gangplank the mid laner, Miss Fortune the bot carry, and Senna the support. So since both characters are pretty heavy in my wheelhouse, I have to point out I am the Xayah this game. So I got quite a good support with Sway. Helps out quite a bit. You have a lot of room. He doesn't get the first pull, unfortunately, there. But we'll see how this one develops off of this one. This is the first game of a 3-game batch I did do. We'll see. Oh, good hit by the Swain there. Unfortunately, I'm not. The Xayah is not close enough to get really an effect out of this one. And we got some interesting things going around with the Gangplank in the mid lane. Usually a top laner, actually. Cassio is not having the greatest of times with this one already. But heavy pressure on the Swain and the Xayah there as well. Ornn and Sion just exchange blows, which is to be expected. That's how it goes on right now. Good knock up there from the Sion as well, so basically my Xayah is a bit different, and I think I went for a different build I normally don't go for, which I feel like could have been well, but I feel like I didn't really play it well. So root on to the Senna, and she's pretty low. Barrier there as well. Miss Fortune does live there. Goes for the flash there. Does not get the finish off there for that one. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia goes for quite a heavy pressure here. So what I'm going to say normally, maybe that's actually part of the problem why the game didn't go so well for me towards the later part. So we'll point out when I built it for. So you can see me going for the Scouts Armbow? Scout Slingshot. Yeah, that's the name. Because I'm gonna go for Yunta in this game. If I remember correctly, going for Yunta, which could be good with the next patch. I wanted to try it out. Maybe it was not the right time to do this one, but we'll go point out further. So right now we're at 2:45 into the game. Zion's team is in the lead 1-0, 200 gold lead right now, which is mainly off of the kill. Oh, Senna gets pulled in there, has to flash away there, gets a root onto the Swain, but has to be careful about this one. And goes in pretty heavy onto the Zion, gets quite good amount of damage there. The passive is tricky damage there. Senna's not in a good position there, gets pulled in by the root, dies off there, and Sylas has to move away from this Warwick here. Gonna be the very interesting situation. So 2-0 for Xayah's team, with Xayah having both kills in this case right now, so that's gonna be another point to really keep an eye out for. Warwick does walk out of the lane. Gangplank setting up barrels, which is kind of what you really want to see as a Gangplank want to do about that one. Swain goes pretty aggressive. He tries to get some pressure onto the Miss Fortune here. Not enough really to handle this one. Second barrel being put down there. Third a bit delayed there. Ooh, there's Cassiopeia going in for this one. Misses quite a bit there. Has to flash away, but Silas comes from the side and they go surround that one. And yes, we do see Warwick putting on the ping, but holy moly, man, what is she supposed to do there in that case? Let's be honest about that one. Pull in there quite a bit. The Blade Caller doesn't hit anything, unfortunately, there. Otherwise, that could have been another opportunity here. Then it goes in for a very heavy play. Tries to chase down. It's pulled in. Blade Caller comes out, and that's a dead Senna once again. And that's a bit of a risky play there. 3-1 for Xayah's team, with Xayah having all 3 kills there. Xayah's getting pressured pretty heavily here by the Ornn. Ornn could... Actually, I don't think can finish him off. Barely can't. However... Oh, flash from the Ornn. Ornn's going to go for the blow. Flash away from the Sion, so Ornn is forced to proxy kind of out of the out of necessity out of that play. Bit of an interesting situation, as I said right now. We are now in even farm in the bot lane, but there are 3 kills on the Xayah, which is a pretty heavy version about that one. Xayah's team has a 6... not a 6... About a 400 gold lead right now. It's mainly because the Sion has been bullied pretty heavily out of the lane. If we look at the gold separation, yeah, you can see Sion and Ornn a bit of a difference. Warwick is a bit of a difference. Mid lane, yeah, Cassio's a bit behind there. Kind of a bit about that right now. But I do want to point out, which I did realize later in the game, actually didn't realize it from the straight up. Misfortune went for the grasp of the eye. My part about this one is as well, I don't really feel like Misfortune was a heavy player in this game, really. Which is kind of funny if you look at later how the stats develop on this one. Misfortune gets a push there. Warwick is close by, goes for the Drake. Meanwhile, he's walking into the Drake. He walks away back to the Drake. I don't know why he does this one. Les goes on top of the Xayah. Xayah gets a kill off there, gets rooted up there, has to pop the barrier, has no opportunity to survive that. Warwick is now walking back in to this fight. Now Cassio comes around there. They do get the kill onto the gangplank. Swain is trying to find a way away from Misfortune, but there's no opportunity to really be done about this. Misfortune is looking for some blood here. Swain managed to heal himself up a bit here, and yeah, I don't really get that Warwick play still. Looking at the replay, he backed out. He walked in away from the fight to do the Drake, and then decided not to do that and walked in after your 4-0 Xayah gets killed. So he gets rooted up. They get to pull in onto the Senna. Senna's trying to do as much as she can right now. Swain is holding on. Warwick is just recalling there. I don't really know what he would be doing there, really. Could have gone into there easily and done something about it, but unfortunately he didn't feel that way. Sion goes in there. The rock does not do the damage there, but the passive does still do a bit of damage there as well. Gluttonous Griefs for the Xayah. Yeah, this is I would say right now kind of the issue with the Yuntal, which I feel like was not a good decision in this game. I should have probably gone for the Essence Reaver. Would have been the wiser choice, or even a Collector. As well, the Yunta can be quite nicely done. What is that TP, by the way? Lion just TP'd and they're going for the red buff? What the hell is this play right now? Sion is just walking in there, just gets hit there quite a bit. There's a run around gangplank and Sion just dies off on the side. What the hell was that play? I don't know what that was, to be honest. Well, okay, that was interesting. As a player in the game, I didn't realize that the Sion did actually that way the play. I have no clue what he was doing there. Flash from the Senna, tries to get away there. There's the bullet time coming out there as well. So Swain is dropping pretty low, but still kind of fine in his position here. Pull in there. Xayah doesn't get the feathers out of there to put the pressure on top of the gameplay. He's taking quite a bit of damage from the Cassio, but still managed to go away from that one. There's the ult there. Settles flash through the wall, gets the ult there, does get petrified, so that's quite a nice play there from Cassio, and has to walk away still. Silas looking for the wraparound still, and Cassio has to be very careful about that one. Knows that it's a petrify. Warwick is looking for a fight here. I'm not too sure this would be the play you want to go for. Goes on top of that one. Jumps in there completely. Does not get petrified, but the Silas jumps in there quite a bit heavily. Their barrels go down, and Warwick just died off there. I don't know what play that was. Cassio has no opportunity to get really out of this one anymore, and gets taken out as well. Double kill for the Gangplank. 6-5. 1 kill in favor of Cassio's team, but Gangplank's team is ahead in gold if you look at everything right now. And yeah, I feel like I I do want to say, as I'm looking at the Xayah, Yuntal is a nice item, but battle path is so bad right now, and I feel like that's probably why you don't really build it right now. Oh, Ornn takes quite a bit of damage here. He's trying to hold up as much as he can right now. And that is that. Gangplank now has an Axiom Arc. And that could be very interesting how this Gangplank goes around. We're coming in from the side here, trying to get on top of the Ornn. Has a flash up there. Call of the Forge God comes out of there, but no opportunity to stop anything, and Warwick picks up the kill. So quite a lead for this red team. You can kind of point at the Sylas having 4 assists right now. I think he's slightly in the lead. Finds a way onto the caster. There's no opportunity. It's great to ping that retreat when they're already jumping on top of you, you know? That's not how I will vision that one, but hey. Warwick thinks he's a great guy. I don't know what to say about that one. I had my issues with him during the game as well. Warwick now fighting off the Sylas. Does manage to win the grubs. So 3 grubs for Warwick's team there. However, Sylas comes in with the ult there. No chance for Ornn or Sion to go in there, and Sylas picks up the kill on the Warwick. So Xayah has picked up the BF sword, which is the big item spike that really takes quite a bit of time in the early game, which was not a really good situation to be in right now. Quite a bit of damage there. Swain goes in with the ultimate. That's not really the position you want to be in. Right now you can kind of see how this one is slowly devolving. You can see already the red team leading quite heavily already in this game. Something to keep an eye out for. Ornn goes in there, flash comes out from the side. Managed to get him under the tower, but not enough damage there to really stop him. Drake is up right now. Gangplank going for a barrel, but no hit, no dice there as well. But he's holding up quite nicely. Sunfire Aegis now picked up by the Sion, so that's going to be an interesting situation. Rocket Belt for the Sylas. You might have a good chance to outplay this one completely as Sion goes for the ult to the top side. Drake is available. That's going to be a big point about this right now. The red team are moving towards the Drake, so you can see the Sylas being in the situation. If you look at the minimap here, Sylas, they're all here. However, there's to try to pull in here. Swain takes quite a bit of damage. There's quite a bit of pressure now. There's going to be that wraparound here right now. There is even the ult there. Xayah tries to play as much as she can this play right now. Gets the feather. Blade Caller just try to get out of there, and they have to bounce away. Orc's still on the other side of the map, so the Drake is pretty open for the Sylas to play around however he wants to play this right now. Orc goes in on top of the Sion, gets quite a bit of pressure here. And now there's the sign from the work that he's on the way. Gonna be a very interesting situation. Pull comes in onto the Misfortune here. A lot of damage being put on top of that one. Senna comes in with the old Warwick. Is pretty far away still. Swain has no opportunity to get out there. Comes now in from the side. Just goes for the ult there. However, nothing really to be done about that one. And Warwick comes in now. Tries to turn the tide. I don't know why he wants to try to turn this one around. Sylas gets the stun up there and gets a pick off there. And now Sylas' team has 3 kills lead right now. Has about a 4,000 gold lead as well. So I think if I can guess correctly, it's probably the top. Yeah, the mid lane is about 2,000 gold lead. Bot lane is pretty even. And then, yeah, jungle is pretty big diff right now. Misfortune picks up the Bloodthirster. That is the Drake that goes over to the red team, so that's not a big surprise to be honest about this one. The lead looks pretty heavy right now, and it's not looking much better. Xayah has picked up the Yuntal now, which I say now in hindsight was not a good item choice to be honest about this one. I think Essence Reaver would have been the better choice there, and that's totally on me. And that's gonna be something to keep in mind that right now, Gangplank going in on Cassia. Cassia loses quite a bit of HP. Bear replacement is gonna go out once again here. Swain tries to put some pressure on here, but the Barrow, okay, Barrow gets put up there. Bit of damage, but actually she managed to dodge quite a bit, but not enough there. Dead. There's a death, and once again a pick up there. Bullet time comes out of this. Swain is caught in that one. So let's see how this one develops further. Right now, the Gangplank's team is leading. Okay, Gangplank is pretty low there. Goes for the ult. Orange has been eaten, and that is how Warwick loses that one completely. And if you don't know, Gangplank has an ability that lets him dodge a stun, or not dodge a stun, but get out of stun. And that's what happened to Warwick. That's why you don't dive a Gangplank. Fortunately for our Warwick, he didn't know that rule. But well played by the Gangplank, honestly. Swain tries to find an opportunity to get in there, but they're zoning him out quite nicely. Silas coming in there right now. Stole the Feather Storm. It's a very interesting situation. Goes for the Feather Storm as well. Jumps around, and Silas plays this one immediately out perfectly. And I mean, the Xayah and Swain maybe overextended a step there, but honestly, the Silas coming in there and playing it perfectly. Don't know what you really want to do about that one. And that leads to a further lead in this game right now. You can see even that the objective bounties are already on top of this one, and we're only 16:30 into the game right now, so this is not a good position to be in. If I would be correct to say, we're about almost 8,000 gold lead for this red team already. And that's an interesting position to be in, let's be honest about that one. Not to be sure how this one develops further. Science trying to do as much as he can right now. But the problem is every lane's kind of lost the good focus of this one. Warwick's trying to fight here right now. TP in from the orange. Doesn't really matter, and it was done before even anything was going on. Let's be honest about that one. Gonna clear out the Herald, which there's no opportunity to really stop that from happening. Let's be honest about that one. Swain is in a bad position here right now. Just has to walk away from this one. Otherwise, this could become very, very dangerous. Silas is close by Senna as well. Quite a bit of damage being put on top of the Swain. Swain gets pulled in there as well. And Senna picks up the kill. Another death. 17-7 right now. We're going for something there. Silas comes in on top as well. They're both taking tower shots, but it doesn't really matter. Sion comes in with a good Q there, but not much about that one. The Rift Tower knocks him away. Why is Warwick outside of tower range right now and gets taken out completely for that one? This is the big problem right now, I would say, on this blue side right now. They're not finding anything really to play this one out. Xayah steps a bit too far forward if you look at the minimap right now, and she's going to pay the price for that one. Just go for the Blade Caller. Let's tries to get a jump in there, but not enough. Tries to go for the pull up Featherstorm, and the Caller didn't follow up shortly after that one, but it was enough there. Swain goes for the ultimate and just has to clear out the wave with this one. Gangplank going for the recall Senna as well. You look at the situation we're in right now. His Fortune goes for the bullet time, just gets through that one completely. Not much to be done about this one. You see the wraparound coming there. Xayah is going to recall here, which is the wisest choice, to be honest about that one. If you look at the minimap right now, you see them looking to show some more pressure. Silas is going to get a free Drake off of this one. No opportunity to really stop this one. Cassia managed to dodge the W there, so that's a good opportunity here, but there's not really much that the blue team can do right now. They can't really contest this Drake in any shape or form right now. I don't know if this is really going to develop anything out of this right now. Warren goes in onto this Sion and does quite a bit of damage there. There's quite a bit of pressure here. Xylus gets a good jump there. Root on top of the Xayah. No opportunity for her to get out of that one either, and gets put down by the Xylus there. This is really the point that you have. And Warwick, meanwhile, is doing just the red buff, wondering why his team is dead, and not trying to move away from there. And that's, I would say, is the biggest issue really play out right now. Let's manage to jump away there, but heals up enough there to survive. And now Swain is dead as well, and that's one more down, and 2 for 1 for the Gangplank. Oh, 2 for the price of 1, not really for... They didn't really pay anything, but you just walked in there, got 2 out of it. Lion tries to find an opportunity on top of this Ornn, but Ornn's just sitting there and just doing what he needs to do. As I said, you can kind of see Yuntha. Yuntha is a good item when you can spike really nicely, but in this game, was a wrong decision there. Just completely honest about this one. Was a bad decision. Paid the price for that one. It is what it is. And that's kind of the funny part about that one, because I feel like Yuntha could be better next patch, but we're not in next patch yet. So that was my thought process about building that. Just have it for the next game. Okay, Misfortune, I'm not really getting wrapping. I get the Bloodthirst on Misfortune, but the Umbral Glaive I don't get on the other side. But if we have some time, we can compare items right now, because, well, they're probably going to go for the Baron and probably not have much competition, let's be honest. So right now we do have, on the side, we have the Unending Despair. Okay, Blast Cone over there, this could be an interesting situation. I think it's a good pull in. However, Silas on the top side, who's the big carry right now on his team. He did use that already, gets on top of the Warwick. Warwick comes back with the ultimate, tries to do what he can. Silas is healing himself up quite nice as well. Kills the Warwick. Goes on top of the Cassio. Cassio does get the petrification, but she's pretty low. Does get the Silas, so that's a good bounty to be picked up here. However, doesn't find the way out of that flash from the Gangplank. Puts her into the ground. Lion is not in a good position right now. Can walk away there. Archangel Staff picked up by the Cassio. So let's look at the items for now. I think we have a moment. So let's look at that. Unending Despair and a Sunfire Aegis for the Sion. No boots. Has a Tiamat soon as well. So it'll be very interesting. The Ornn has... Oh, going for the Ornn right now. Sion managed to dodge that wall there. Bit of damage here. Blade Collar coming in, then putting some damage on top of the Ornn. But it's this Ornn. He's tanky as hell right now. And he is going to out-tank this because he does have the Sunfire Aegis upgrade, which is Masterwork, I think it's just called now. Yes. And a Thorn Mail as well. But they're still going for him right now. They're still trying to get a lot on him. Putting the damage on the tank is not good when you're not an ADC with like a Lord Dominance Regard. Right now the Xayah doesn't have, because of that unfortunate decision going for Yuntha in this case. Oh yeah, and don't forget to play the Seal Caps as well on this Ornn. Then we have the Stripe Breaker, the Blade of the Rune. Oh, good root on top of that one. However, there is now the bullet time to sustain the Senna's life in that fight right now. We have the Stripe Breaker, we have the Blade of the Rune King, and the Swiftness Boots on the Warwick. We have Zhonya's Hourglass, we have a Rift Maker, we have Rocket Bell. Oh, just jumps on top of the Swain. Swain is dropping pretty low here. Silas is looking for some more opportunity, does get on top of that one, but still managed to dash on top of that one. And Cassio could have ulted there, yes, but I don't think that would have survived, let the Swain survive anyway. Swain is fishing for a good hit there. Goes in with the ult there, puts a lot of damage, and gets petrified as well, so there's quite a bit of damage there. Hits the Zhonya, all standing still in the arena as if they go down. Warwick picks up the bounty, which is the worst person to pick it up right now, let's be honest about that one. And now we're not in a good position there. Ornn is going to get rooted up there as well, but takes enough tower shots to survive there. So Misfortune puts down the Xayah in that fight right now. Ornn puts the Sion down as well. Ornn tries to get out of this case right now, and it looks like he'll manage to do so, and that means another survival here. Meanwhile, Gangplank puts in the top tier 2 tower, and a lot of issues coming around this play right now. I said the Yunta was probably the worst pickup I could have done in this game right now, and you can kind of see that developing that way. So we do see the Cassiopeia with the Seraph's Embrace, with the Rod of Ages, and the Spellslinger Shoot, so she's slowly scaling up there. Swain is not in a good position whatsoever, and Gangplank puts him out of his misery for that push here. Well, the Gangplank has the Collector, has the Axiom Arc, has a Malignance? What the... Okay, Lucidity Boots and a Sheen. I don't really feel like that's going to be the right item. However, there is the low dropping Warwick, who barely survives that one. Nope, does because of the ult from Senna there. The lovely Dawning Shadow puts him down. And you can really see we're 9-33. Which shows you pretty much how wrong this game is going. Essence Reaver now for the Gangplank as well. The item that the Xayah should have pulled out here. But that is it. So let's look at the Xayah item. We got the Yunta Wild Arrows who have now stacked up to the top speed, which is pretty good. Navori Flickerblade, which is a great pickup, honestly. Has the Gluttonous Greaves. And it's going for Mortal Reminder, which makes a bit of sense when you look at the Silas, when you look at the Misfortune. At the Senna as well, it's kind of a good pickup there. Or it's lacking a bit something. We have the Misfortune with the Bloodthirster Masterwork. We have the Umbra Glaive. We have the Serpent's Fang. I don't really get the Serpent's Fang though. Gotta be honest, but okay. I don't really see that many shields on them right now that would suggest that the Serpent's Fang would be the perfect pickup there. Then we have the Swain with the Realized Crystal Scepter. And nothing else on the Swain. Well, the Senna has the Shazag Shift Masterwork, has the Rapid Fire Cannon, and the Berserker Greaves. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of a difference, honestly. There's pull in onto the gameplay. I'm not too sure that will be an opportunity, but the Baron is open, so that's probably going to be their pickup here. No opportunity really for the blue team to threaten this one right now. The team, Silas's team is up. Oh, is almost... Yeah, 17,000, almost 17,000 gold ahead right now, which suggests this game is pretty much out of reach right now, if I would be honest about this blue team. Pretty out of reach right now, not much to be done about this one. If you get a good team fight, you could do something, but with how this team is playing, especially with the Warwick being caught out completely right now, there is now the jump there from the Warwick. However, Misfortune is not one to give up the chase. Whoa, that was one shot and chunked him almost half HP out of this one already, and that shows you really how heavy the play is right now. Cassio now has the Clish's Scepter as well, so that's another item being put into the situation. When walks a bit too far up there, gets knocked up there, Bolt Time comes out of there. Flame tries to pop the ultimate, doesn't really do much. Ornn picks up a kill. That is a dead support there, and right now they're pushing in. They take the first inhibitor, so they should have their feet in position to just put something good in here. Warwick once again takes a heavy hit there. Loses more than a quarter of its HP already, and that's not a good situation to be in right now. And you can see really how the walls are closing in there. First Nexus turret goes down there. Warwick has to be careful not to step up too far. Silas gets on top of them, pulls the Swain ult out of there. Actually managed to do quite a bit of damage to Swain. Once again, hits the Zhonya's, holds up there quite nice. Gets on top of the Xayah. Xayah tries to get an escape out of this one with the Blade Caller. Gets put down by the Gangplank. That opens up the Nexus completely. They're just going to hit the Nexus. GG. I lose LP quite a bit and fall down to gold 4 again. But the red team win 73-9 in 29 minutes. So I would say thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.